Right. A proposed ordinance requires the installation in new homes of sprinklers automatically triggered by the presence of a fire. Okay, if there is a fire, that sprinklers are going to be automatically triggered, starts to extinguish such fire. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
However, a home builder argued that because more than 90% of residential fires are extinguished by a household member, residential sprinklers would only marginally decrease property damage caused by the residential fires. So I mean, which method he is actually vouching for?
Extinguished by household members.
Household members. He believes like sprinklers, right?
Yeah.
Installing sprinklers won't help you in case of extinguishing fires because based on the statistics, the residential fires are extinguished by household members only. Okay, so he believes he is indirectly indicating household members in case of extinguishing residential fires. Household members are far better than sprinklers, right? Case of extinguishing fires. This is what he believed, right, Vedi?
Yeah.
So the right option, weakening line, we
The
can,
sprinklers are
yes,
better than household members.
the right option must support this idea like sprinklers. In case of extinguishing fires, sprinklers are better than household members, right? So which option is actually supporting this weakening line? That would be your correct one. So please check, read the first option, go with so, and read this one and check the logical consistency, whether they are logically well reasoned or not. If
So
they
it
are not
can be an extra information added just to weaken that, right?
any case that weakens that idea, any case that weakens the idea given in the argument, any case, any situation
Okay.
which is not given in the argument, right, buddy?
Mm.
If somebody's opinion must be attacked, you come up with some other information, right? You come up
Yeah.
with a different sort of reasoning, right? Got my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimately, the right option must attack the householders argument. So somehow it should mean like sprinklers are better than household members. So for example, most individuals have no formal training in how to extinguish fires.
Yeah.
So sprinklers are better than household members. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it aside. Since new homes are only a 90 percentage of available housing in the city, the new ordinance would be extremely narrow in scope. So what does this mean?
It's it's
The new
strengthening the
ordinance
assumption.
is new ordinance cannot be cultivated at all.
Yeah.
Sprinklers, you know, what's that ordinance? The sprinklers must be
Sprinklers are better than.
installed.
Yeah.
Ordinance, it's talking about ordinance, but the
Yeah.
sprinklers must be installed. But this
Yeah.
option is talking about new homes are very less, and the ordinance, the execution, the enforcing the ordinance is also narrow in scope, narrow in chance. That won't be. So, what does that mean? Household members are better
Yeah.
for the tiny percentage of new homes.
Yeah.
Establishing the sprinklers is narrow in scope. Maybe in that particular tiny percentage of new housing, the related household members may extinguish their fires, the fires, right? The ordinance
Mm.
cannot be enforced means household members are responsible, in case of extinguishing fires, right,
Yeah.
buddy?
Yeah.
So somehow it is more talking about more talking about talking more about the ordinance and the house, and it's nowhere related. Somehow you can eliminate this is based on out of scope. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Next, the installation of smoke detectors in new residences cost significantly less than the installation of sprinklers. So it is talking about smoke detectors are better than sprinklers, but we need
Yeah. It's not
sprinklers are
true.
better than household members. So it is also absolutely irrelevant, right, buddy?
Hmm.
Next, in the city where the ordinance was proposed, the average time required by the fire department to respond to fire was less than the national average. Okay, the fire department are so quick enough to extinguish fire, so there is no necessity of household members to extinguish and also sprinklers to extinguish. So, sprinklers or household members are not necessary because fire department is quick enough, right? The
Yeah.
response from the department is actually less than national average. So, is it really supporting sprinklers?
No, sir.
No, right. So the largest proportion, the last option, the largest proportion of property damage that results from residential fires is caused by fires that start when no household members is present. So sprinklers are better than household members. Is it making sense?
No.
Yes, it is making sense. Because
Yeah, it's starting.
when there were no household members, the sprinklers can extinguish fires. So sprinklers are better than household members in this particular case.
No, it's saying the most number of property damages have happened where when household member was not present. That
Yes.
means member was not there to prevent it.
Yes. So then which
So,
is better?
so household member is better according to the last one.
Hey, there were no household members, buddy.
Yeah, when there are no household members, large proportion of property damages happened. So
Okay,
that means
due to
household
residential fires. Due to residential fires.
yeah,
When there was no household member at home,
yeah,
there was a residential
more
fire.
property damage happened.
Okay, large proportion of property damage happened.
Yeah.
So which is better than if you come across this case? If there were sprinklers, this large proportion of property damage might not occur, right, buddy? No household
No,
member. There was a residential fires. If there were sprinklers, they would have triggered automatically and prevent the large proportion of property damage as per the argument.
no, I think as per the argument, they're saying that because there was no household member present, more property damage happened. So
Okay.
if household member was present, then less property damage would have happened. So even in that
So,
sense, it does say that household members are better than sprinklers.
buddy, when there were no household members, who should do the extinguish of fires? We are
That is,
talking
if
about which is
sprinklers
better,
are
buddy. Which is better? Sprinklers are better or household member is better in case of residential fires? But in this case, there were no household members, right, buddy?
yeah.
So you feel yourselves like if there were household members, there won't be property damage. The discussion is about which is better. It's not about household members, only to consider. So what do you say about sprinklers then? So if this is the case, what do you say about sprinklers?
That if they were there, then less
That's what the question is asking. If you really want to oppose the builder's idea, you have to support the sprinklers. So if you read the answer choice, how this can be related to support sprinklers? Have you got my point? This the
yeah.
weakening line should mean how the weakening line should mean, right, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Please check. Please try to relate the given answer choice with the weakening line we have written. Based on this, you can clearly say sprinklers are better than household members. Household members sometimes they won't be at home. Then who can you know, extinguish fires? Who can prevent large proportion of property damage? Definitely sprinklers,
Yes, sir. Understood.
right? So if you just converse this idea and household members are better, there is no comparison actually given in it. But I need this. Have you got my point, buddy? Okay, if household member is
Yeah.
there, if household member is there, of course he would extinguish the fires. But I need comparison, which is better, sprinklers or household members? When it comes to comparison, sprinklers are better in this case because they are not at home,
Yeah.
right? So ultimately, you are left with two options. So you have to have a quick decision which could be the better, which could be the most weakening line, which could be most supporting the weakening line we have written. Between A and E, which is the best?
E.
Okay. So, do you think formal training is necessary to extinguish fires?
No.
No. Then there is no necessity of formal training. If most individuals have formal training in how to extinguish fires, if formal training is not necessary, right? If
Yeah.
formal training is not necessary, they can extinguish fires themselves, right, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
So why do we have to talk about formal training and all?
Yeah. E is more appropriate.
Most people have no formal training in how to explain. There is no necessity of formal training. So the argument would have given an idea, a sentence that if any people doesn't have formal training, cannot extinguish fires, then this would be the most weakening.
Yeah.
Have you got my point?
Yeah.
Right? You can't say this is a weakening line. There is no necessity of formal training. If there were there, they can extinguish fires. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
So to go with answer choice A, I need an idea. If there was no formal training for the household members, they can't extinguish fires as a part of argument, then A would be the most weakening line. So there is no question of formal training to extinguish fire for any individual, right? If they were there, if they are there at home, they can extinguish fires. So the best is actually E. It is clearly emphasizing the case where sprinklers are necessary, right, buddy?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
This is how you should be able to think. Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Move on to next question.